Hey y'all, it is Keisha Goals, and welcome to part one of the Balancing Act series where we are going to talk about core values. We're going to talk about clarifying your core values. So before we can even dive into clarifying your core values, what are core values? You need to know what are core values. So your core values are going to be those deep-seated beliefs that you have, whether limiting or progressive. They're going to be those deep-seated beliefs that you have. These beliefs are going to come from your experiences. These beliefs are going to come from the experiences of others. These beliefs are going to come from your childhood. These beliefs are going to come from things that you've learned in school, things that you've learned in the real world, things that you've learned at jobs. These beliefs are going to come based on your interactions with others, your interactions with yourself, the thoughts that you have with yourself, the thoughts that you have throughout the day. That's where these core values and these core beliefs are going to come from. So why is knowing your core values important? It's important to know your core values because you have to know what you stand on. We talk about standing on business all the time, right? All the time. All the rappers want to stand on business. But what are you really standing on? That's why it's important for you to know what your core values are, because that's going to determine what you stand on. That's going to determine the things that you prioritize for your time. That's going to determine what's important to you. That's going to determine where your energy is spent. So it is very important for you to know what your core values are. I'm gonna show this on the board. So when you don't know your core values, right, what ends up happening is, let's say you have a goal, right? Here's your goal. And then here's the path to get to your goal, right? This is the path to get to your goal. But then this is where you are now. This is where you are now, right? When you don't know your core values, when you don't know what's important to you, when you don't know where you should be spending your time and energy, when you don't know these things, this is the goal, right? But now you're over here, and now you're over there, and now you're over here, and now you're all the way over there. And then you get a little closer, so then you come here, and then you come back over here. But then you run over there, and then we back over here. So when you don't know your core values, you're kind of just spinning around, just doing whatever. Maybe your goal is to get a promotion at work, right? Your goal is a promotion. Your goal is a promotion. When you don't know what your core values is, when you don't know why you want this promotion, when you don't know why you want to be in this field and why you want to do this work, when you don't know why that's important to you or where you should be spending your energy to get to this goal, you're all over the place. Let's say your goal is a promotion at work, right? Promotion at work. You're currently here. This is the path to get to your goal, but you know your core values. You know that you prioritize family. You know that you prioritize self-care. You know that you prioritize wellness, right? You're going to get a massage every month. You're going to therapy every 2 weeks. You go work out. Like, you're prioritizing these things. You know that these are 3 of your top core values, right? You know that about yourself. So when you're talking about this promotion and you're trying to get this promotion and you're trying to go from here along this path to your goal, you're going to prioritize these things in order to get to that promotion. So when you know your core values, you have a clearer path. There's clarity here, right? So when you know your core values, there's clarity. There is clarity here. There is clear steps that you can achieve to get to this goal because you know why you're doing it. You know who you're doing it for. You know why this promotion is important to your family. Because this promotion is going to mean more money. That means more money you can invest into your family, right? This promotion means more access, maybe more time to yourself. Self-care and wellness, you have more time. Maybe this promotion comes with increased benefits. So maybe with this promotion, this new position is going to put you in a place where they'll pay for your gym membership. This new position is going to put you in a place where they'll pay for your therapy. This new position is going to put you in a place where they're going to take care of your self-care and wellness, or they're going to increase your access or your ability to take care of your self-care and wellness for yourself, which means you're going to have a clear route to get to that goal now, because now you know that although you're here, your core values are what you're going to focus on to get here. You see that connection? You see that connection? Because when you don't know this, When you don't know this, when you don't know what your top core values are, when you don't know what the top things that are important to you or where you should be investing your time, it's really hard to get to your goal because you're just aimlessly wandering trying to get there. But when you know what your core values are, you have clarity there. You know why you want this goal. You know why this goal is important to you, and you know why this is going to matter long term in your life. So why is the Balancing Act series beneficial to you? So if you are a busy professional and you are constantly feeling overworked, you're constantly burned out, you're constantly just wandering aimlessly towards your goals and wandering aimlessly to achieve the things that you want, and it's stressing you out. It's stressing you out. You're having a lot of anxiety. You're having a hard time sleeping at night. You're having a hard time balancing your work and personal life. That is why this web series is going to be important for you, because it's going to help you become clear about what you want, how to get there, what's important to you, and why it's necessary for you to take these steps when you are trying to achieve a goal, when you are trying to achieve work-life harmony, when you are trying to achieve work-life balance, because that is important. That is important. When you're a busy professional, you're a parent, you're running a business, you have all these other things that are pulling at your attention, you got to know why you're doing anything. You have to know why you're doing any of these things. So that's why we're starting out with clarifying your values, because once you know what you value, once you know what's important to you, it's a lot easier to set your goals up. It's a lot easier to set up those actions towards your goal, because you know why you're doing it. You know why it's important. You know why you need this in your life. You know how this is going to benefit your life, your family's life long term. And those are things that are important to you, right? That is why this series is important and beneficial for you. All right, now let's get into this 3-step process that I take my clients through in order to clarify their values. So the first thing that we do when we're clarifying values is that I give them a sheet. So they're going to get a sheet that has a whole bunch of values on it. And on that sheet, you're going to circle 20 values, right? You're going to circle 20 values. You're going to take that 20 values to 10 values. You're going to take that 10 values to 5 values. You're going to take that 5 values to just your top 3 core values. And the reason why I take my clients through this process is because a lot of times people have no idea what they value in the first place. So when we start on the grand scheme, it gets you thinking about the things that are important to you. It gets you thinking about the things that actually matter to you long term and short term as well, but definitely long term. And so that's why we start with 20. I know a lot of people start with 10. I like to start with 20. I like to start with 20 if the client has no idea like what's really important. Like if I was to just ask them, what are your core values, and they can't give me anything, I like to start with 20, because you do need to know what your core values are, even on the grand scheme. So we start with 20, we bring it down to 10, bring it down to 5, and then bring it down to 3. I'm also gonna attach a sheet that has a big list of core values. You're gonna go on and you're gonna do this activity as you watch this video. And so what happens once we break this down is that you'll realize that the things that you thought you valued or the things that you thought were super important to you probably aren't. They probably aren't. You probably was someone who valued like materialistic things before, but then once you start breaking it down and you really get down to those top 3 things, you realize, although I do value those things, although those things are important to me, that's not something that's important to me right now, or that's not something that's important to me long term, so things like that. So when you get down to those top 3, so again, step 1 is going to be, what are your top 3 core values? What are your top 3 core values? What are your top 3 core values? That's going to be step 1. You're going to look at that list, choose 20 core values. From those 20, choose 10. From those 10, choose 5. From those 5, choose only 3. And then sometimes this is a process. Like sometimes this is not something that you're going to be able to do right then and there. Sometimes it's something that's going to take you a couple days, because you want to think about like, damn, like what the fuck really matters to me? Like what really is important to me? What do I care about? Like why do I care about this shit? And you'll realize you don't care about a lot of shit you thought you cared about. And that's the point, okay? So step 1, very simple, very, very simple. What are your top 3 core values? If you can't think of your top 3, I definitely advise doing that activity. Because some people can tell me, like some people I can ask them and they can tell me. But I'll still go through the process with them because I want them to be clear that those are their top 3. But some people can tell me. If you have no idea what your top 3 core values are, if you don't even know how to describe your values, if you don't even know any of those things, definitely use the worksheet. Pick 20, pick 10, pick 5, pick 3. Once you have your core values, once you have your top 3 core values, the next thing is you're going to do is you're going to do a time audit. You are going to do a time audit because you're going to ask yourself, right? How much time per week am I investing in these values? And this step is so important because sometimes you'll realize, there are a few things, of course, that you can realize, but sometimes you'll realize that you'll see that although these are your top 3 core values, you're spending no time investing in them each week. No time is invested. Remember earlier we talked about if your top 3 is family, self-care, and wellness. So if those are your top 3 core values, right? And you ask yourself, how much time per week am I investing in my family? But you realize, oh, we haven't had like a family day in a month or 2 months or a year, whatever the case may be. No judgment, be gentle on yourself every single time. Compassion for yourself every single time. So we're not asking these questions for judgment. We're asking these questions so we can really be real with ourselves and make changes for the betterment of our future. So you're asking yourself, how much time per week am I investing in these values? Family time. If family is an important core value for you, how much time are you investing in your family per week? How much time are you investing in self-care per week? How much time are you investing in wellness per week? If you say that these are your top 3 core values, you need to audit your time. Because if these are your core values, your actions need to align with that. Because people can say all day long, oh, I value family. How much time are you investing in your family? How much money are you investing in your family? How much energy are you investing in your family? How are you growing your family in a way that's for the betterment of y'all's future, for the health of y'all's future? Step 2, time audit. So again, step 1, what are your top 3 core values? Again, you're going to use the exercise. It's going to take you from 20 to 10 to 5 to 3. Step 2, time audit. How much time per week am I investing in these values? Step 3, question everything. And I mean everything. So you're going to be asking yourself, right? Let's say, again, family is your core value. You're asking yourself about the time audit. You do your time audit, right? And a time audit is simply, literally just as simple as sitting down, asking yourself how much time, and putting a number. So if I do my time audit, and I'm not gonna lie with y'all, I spend a lot of time with family. So if we just estimate how much time, and I mean like real time, I don't mean like we sitting in the living room, I mean like actual intentional time. So I feel like family, I would definitely comfortably be able to say 2 to 3 hours a week. 2 to 3 hours. So I can comfortably say 2 to 3 hours per week. So in step 3 with us questioning everything, one of the questions you need to ask, is that enough time? Is that enough time? Do you need more or less? Is that enough time? If it's enough time, yes, cool. You don't need to ask yourself if you need more or less. If that's not enough time, you need to be asking yourself, do you need more time with your family per week or less time with your family per week? Self-care. For me, I'm a self-care queen, y'all. Let me think. If we being realistic, I feel like I spend a surplus amount of time in self-care a week. But I can comfortably say at least 6 hours. So for me, that's enough time. But if that wasn't enough time and I needed more time, then I would be trying to figure out how to increase that. If I needed less time, wellness, yeah. Honestly, this is probably more because I include the gym and wellness, and I'm definitely working out like a good 4 to 5 hours a week just for the gym. So I can say approximately like 10 hours. I could say about 10 hours a week on wellness. So once you have your times and you're questioning everything, you're gonna ask yourself, is that enough time? Do you need more or less time, right? You're gonna ask yourself, what memories do you have attached to these values? And that's sloppy, sorry. I'm in my teacher bag right now, okay? Teacher bag, former teacher bag, retired teacher bag. I'm in my teacher bag right now. So you're gonna ask yourself, what memories are attached to these values? Because a lot of times when you're choosing core values, you'll notice that you have those core values because they came from your parents. They came from your siblings. They came from your friends. They came from your friends' family. You'll notice that the memories attached are very important as to why that is valuable for you. Family is a core value for me because that's always been something that's been big in my family. Like, even to this day, we still spend time together. We still go out places together. We're about to have like our first Thanksgiving dinner in a while. But growing up, we always had holiday dinners at the house. Like, it was always everyone coming to the house, big family events. And so when I'm thinking of family and I'm thinking about why that's one of my core values, the memories that I have attached to that are holiday dinners. The memories that I have attached to that are the big birthday parties. The memories that I have attached to that are all the times that we've been on trips together, or we've just went out just randomly just because. And then I even think about there are people who I have conversations with, and they're like, oh, I don't have any memory of doing these things with my family. So it's like their core value is going to change because they don't have memories attached to this core value. So even with self-care, the memories I have attached to self-care, I think I've been getting massages ever since I was like 18 or 19. So when I think of self-care, I'm thinking about the memories that I have attached. I think about how I felt during those moments. I know when I'm getting a massage, I feel relaxed, I feel relieved, I feel like the stress is leaving my body because I have someone actually getting it out of my body. So when that's the memories I have attached to self-care. Memories I have attached to wellness. I have positive and negative memories attached to wellness. You know, I've had a miscarriage before, so I've had to go to the hospital for a miscarriage. I had a child, so I've had to go to the hospital to have a child. And then in those moments of wellness, like the way that I was taken care of, positive and good. So for this to be a core value for me, I have attached negative and positive memories to wellness, but I have used that attachment to create healthier future wellness experiences for myself. So when you're attaching your memories to these core values, it doesn't always have to be positive or negative, because I have a lot of negative family attachments. I have a lot of memories attached to negative. I have a lot of negative memories attached to family as a core value as well. But moving forward, because of what I want and how I view my family and how I view the family that I'm building with my son, is that I am willing to create something new here. Like, I'm willing to invest my time every single week. As you can see, I'm willing to invest my time every single week to create something new and create something memorable for him and for myself, because that's a core value for me. So when you are clarifying your values, these are the 3 steps that I want you to go through. Because once you go through these 3 steps, it'll make so much, like everything else will make so much more sense once you know why you're doing it. And honestly, because again, this is part 1. Part 1, we're clarifying values. Part 2, we're working on mindful time management. And part 3, we're creating new self-care routines. But I start here because before you can manage your time mindfully, you need to know why. You need to know why, and it needs to be important to you. It needs to be important to you that you have to get up in the morning and 30 minutes before everyone else for you. That has to be important for you, not me, but it has to be important for you. So that is why we're clarifying values first, because you can get to step 2 and we start talking about managing your time mindfully, and you'll start realizing that as you audit your time more, that what you thought were your core values aren't, and that's okay. That's okay, because we're not on this path of perfection. We're not on this path of no mistakes. We're not on this path of what I choose now is what I have to choose for the rest of my life. I just want you to be aware. I want you to know. I want you to be aware of what is important to you so you can make decisions based on what is important to you. So this is why we are starting with clarifying values, and this is why I want you to follow these 3 steps in order to clarify your own values. Again, clarifying values, step 1. What are your top 3 core values? Remember, I'm going to post that sheet. You're going to start at 20, break it down to 10, bring it down to 5, bring it down to 3. After you have identified your top 3 core values, you're going to do a time audit. You are going to do a time audit. How much time per week are you investing in these core values? And realistically, again, this is no judgment. Give yourself grace, give yourself compassion, because this is about awareness. This is about aligning your values with your action. And a lot of times you're watching this series because you don't feel like your actions are aligned with your values. People probably tell you all the time, well, I didn't know you enjoyed that, or I didn't know you liked that, or I didn't know you thought like that, because your actions aren't aligning with what you believe. And I want them to align. I want people to see your authentic you. I want you to show up as who you are, no matter where you are. That's the goal. The goal is to transform your thoughts so you can transform your actions. And just by watching this web series, just by watching part 1 of this, you are already transforming the way that you think because you're investing in yourself. You're investing in yourself, you're investing in your family, you're investing in your future, you're investing in everyone who is depending on you right now. And most importantly, you. So again, clarify your values. Step 1, top 3 core values. Step 2, time audit. Step 3, you're gonna question everything. Question everything. Is that enough time? Do I need more time, less time? What memories are attached to these core values? What memories are attached to these core values? What limitations do you have? What limitations do you have? I'm gonna throw that one in there. Like realistic limitations. Like realistically, self-care, right? If you realistically have a schedule that stops you from being able to indulge in self-care or being able to really plan your self-care out, that's a limitation. What does that limitation come from? Are you working 50, 60 hours a week? So that's what's interfering? Are you going straight from work to the kids? And so that's what's interfering? Like, be realistic. What are your limitations? Is it a financial thing? Can you not afford to, and can you not afford the self-care that you like or the wellness that you like? What are your limitations? What are your limitations? Because again, in step 3, you're gonna question everything. You have to question everything because once you start asking yourself the right questions, that's when more clarity is gonna come. That's when all these memories that you probably haven't thought of in a while are gonna come flooding to you, but that's necessary. That's necessary. Don't be scared of that. Don't run from it. It's necessary because in order for you to really stand on business, because we're talking about again, right? We're talking about standing on business. Really to stand on business, you have to know you. The only way that you can truly stand on business is when someone can't come up to you and tell you about who you are because you know who you are. They can't tell you nothing about who you are. So when you know your core values, you know what's going on in your mind and your body and what's going on around you, that's standing on business. That's what we're here to do. Okay? That is what we are here to do. So thank you so much for joining me on the Balancing Act Part 1, Clarifying Values. Stay tuned for part 2, where you will learn how to manage your time mindfully. So you will take these core values and you will learn how to incorporate them into your day, into your week, realistically and mindfully. Thank y'all for joining. See you next time.